Salute and welcome to the Stories and Cocktails podcast, where you will enjoy an entertaining short story from acclaimed humor columnist Rob Kreider. Story time is the family portion of the show. Then we move on from the stories to the cocktails. This is where the alcohol and the not safe for work portion of the show takes over, as Rob and his wife /editor /muse Sara Kreider are taking some adult beverages and provide you with a behind the scenes recap of what really inspired the original story. Put your feet up, relax, and enjoy yourself a round of stories and cocktails. Cheers.
This article is called Can't Buy Me Love by Rob Kreider. Hey, that's me. February 14th, V-Day. To my wife, it's a day of love and togetherness. For me, it's just another day between the Super Bowl and the Daytona 500. I know that my wife needs some type of symbol to prove that I love her. I guess sticking around for 4 years isn't proof enough. So I decided to go out in the world and brave the Valentine's Day consumer craze to buy that special little something that says, I love you, baby, and thanks for getting the shit stains out of my underwear. I wanted to get her something different. Over the years, I've already bought her enough lingerie to stock our own Victoria's Secret, and I can't buy her chocolate or candy because her New Year's resolution was to diet. And every time I give her flowers, she becomes an emotional mess because supposedly flowers bring out bad memories. In college, I bought her some flowers, and then I broke up with her so quickly the flowers hadn't even had a chance to die yet. Okay, I was a jerk, but I married her. Come on, you think she'd be over that thing that happened in college by now. So what could I get her? There's always a standard rom-com movie, but When Harry Met Sally on DVD means I'd be stuck watching it over and over and over again. Maybe I can get her something that makes her life easier around the house. Except a vacuum cleaner as a Valentine's Day gift would mean certain marital failure. I couldn't really think of anything. I figured if I went to the store and just walked up and down the aisles long enough, creative Valentine's Day marketing would take over and solve all my marital problems for me. I went to the fragrance counter and asked the girl behind the counter to give me something that says, I love you, with your nose. She handed me a bottle of perfume and said, this one is eau de toilette. I didn't understand why I'd want to buy my wife anything that sounded like toilet. But before I could say any more, the girl sprayed my wrist, instantly making me smell like a woman. Now when I get home, my wife will either know she's getting perfume for Valentine's Day or think I was having an affair. I decided to skip the eau de public restroom and look for something else altogether. I figured I would start with the basics, a Valentine's Day card. That would be easy. There are only 4 billion ones to choose from. They have cards for everybody, husband to wife, wife to husband. They even have a Valentine's Day card for neutered dogs who love hairless cats. No matter how many choices there were, none of them represented me. I decided I needed my own card company. Cards to say what I feel. For instance, I love you more than a Camaro Supersport. Or, to my wife, I love my mom and you're just like her. While I was sifting through the piles of Valentine's Day cards, it hit me. I don't have to buy my wife anything. I can use the money I save for Valentine's Day for beer and just make her some love coupons. I went home and actually used my computer for something besides just looking at porn. I came up with some chores that my wife would like me to do, and I made a little coupon book. I printed out some instructions. Pull a coupon from the book, and I will do the chore without any grumbling, ifs, ands, or buts. I made some of the coupons very sensual. A foot massage, a full body oil massage. Then some of the coupons I made just for things to help her out. One for an afternoon of childcare, a 2-hour nap, or take out the garbage without complaining. Then I got a little love crazy and made some of the coupons without thinking ahead of time. For instance, the trip to Hawaii coupon will be a tough one to cash in because we don't have the cash to go to Hawaii. Plus, I know I'm going to regret the one that says, have your girlfriends over for a creative memories party. And I don't know where my head was when I wrote, your mom can visit for a week. So we'll see if the love coupons are a hit on Valentine's Day. If they aren't, I always have a backup plan. I'll sneak out of the house, get undressed, stick a red bow on my head, ring the doorbell, and say, Happy Valentine's Day. Check out my package. By the way, since on Valentine's Day I'll be massaging my wife's feet, I should have probably bought that perfume.
Okay, folks, it's time to pop that top and let's get to those cocktails.
Hey, welcome to Stories and Cocktails Drunken portion of the show. You know, we don't have to curse every time we do the show. We can make it a family show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe this episode we don't have any expletives.
Oh, well, yeah, let's fucking do that.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I'm down for it.
That didn't last long. We did.
Wait, oh, shit. Did I cuss? Are you kidding me?
You might have cussed a little bit. I don't think you and I realize how vulgar we are. I've had listeners tell us.
You're vulgar.
Well, listeners have said that I am quite vulgar on the show, and they've asked us to roll it back a tut, like a cunt.
Are you
Just
serious?
roll it back a cunt.
Someone said roll it back?
Yes. It was your son.
Oh.
He
Okay.
says you don't always have to be so vulgar.
Do you think that the curse words are the vulgarity he was talking about, or do you think he was talking about content?
Cockstent?
Content. I don't think that he has a problem with the F word. Like, I don't think he cares that you say fuck. I think he cares that you say, like, I fuck your mom.
Well, yeah. I guess for our son, that would be a pretty rough subject. Yeah.
So I think that if you said, I make sweet love to your mom, I think he'd still find that kind of vulgar, and that's not like for his listening tastes.
But I do make sweet love to his mom. I also fuck his mom.
There you go. Maybe he shouldn't listen to the podcast.
I guess this is one less listener.
I'm just saying, I don't understand why I got to stop cursing because you got a little bit of feedback that we're vulgar.
Well, that's why I normally start off, this is the motherfucking drunk portion of the show, because I am a motherfucker. I fuck his mother.
Yes.
See how it's all coming together full circle? I don't know why I have to explain this to people.
I don't either.
All right, I'll just do it again, my style. Here we go. Ready? Hey. Welcome to Stories and Cocktails, drunken portion of the motherfucking show. This is how I normally do it.
Yeah.
This is more normal.
That's more normal. Yeah,
just
you
get
know what?
into
We
it.
were off to a rough start.
Nah, fuck that
I
shit.
felt like I just like, the vibe wasn't there.
I know, it wasn't coming together.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
We tried it.
So what are you drinking for the drunken portion?
Well, this is a caffeine-free Diet Coke with Captain Morgan in it. It's very, very good. It's my daytime drink.
You're really leaning out of your comfort zone there with a new drink.
Well, there's no Malibu in it, and there's no caffeine in it. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
There's no sugars, no caffeine. It's basically just like colored brown water.
Yeah, no, I was being sarcastic when I said you're leaning out of your comfort zone.
I thought we were going to have this be a clean and non-sarcastic show.
Because you drink that drink all the time.
I know, well, it's available.
I mean, I guess it is missing the Malibu, so...
Yeah, and sometimes we're on travels, I don't always get caffeine-free.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at you drinking something brand new.
I know. Look, what are you drinking over there?
I'm not. I'm fucking hopped up on Mexican Tramadol and Diet Mountain Dew over here. I can't
This
drink.
isn't the Stories and Cocktails episode. This is Stories and Sarah's on Pills episode.
Yeah, no, you can't mix Mexican Tramadol with alcohol. It'll fucking kill you.
Well, at least you take your opioids with some sense of responsibility.
I am the most responsible opioid user.
Now, let me ask you, Mrs. Crater, do you have a prescription in America for that drug?
I did. I really did.
Do you currently?
Well, no, because...
Let me surmise here. Did you recently go to Mexico and come back with a prescription?
Dude, I've been trying to tell you this story for like 5 years, and I keep waiting for you to like get upset and be like, where's he at? And try to like go defend my honor, and you just haven't done it. So now I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, shit.
Because
What's
now
going
it's
on
not
here?
just you and me talking at the kitchen table. It's you and me talking at the podcast table.
And now I'm actually listening because these headphones are on.
Right.
At the kitchen table, I really can't hear a word you're fucking saying. Generally don't care what you're talking about.
Okay, so I have some slight pain that has been diagnosed as like chronic pain. And chronic pain is addressed with a mild prescription for opioids.
A cornucopia of pills.
Right. But because of the opioid crisis now, you actually have to go to a chronic pain doctor. Like only chronic pain doctors can prescribe opioids. And basically what that means is that...
Now, is that guy sitting in a Chevy Cavalier on the side of the street?
Close. It is really the closest doctor's office to a Chevy Cavalier on the side of the street that I've ever been to. Like it was just really, it was not a good vibe. It was a really weird doctor's office. But he was a doctor. You pee in a cup every single time you go there. But the reason I've been trying to tell you this story is because I had a prescription and I peed in a cup, and I was actually like one of his best, I was like his poster girl patient. He would give me a 3-month prescription because I was so responsible. I pee in the cup, I see him, I come back out, I'm walking down the hallway, and he says down the hallway, he says to his receptionist, he's like, hey, Sally, go ahead and, put her down. We'll see her in 3 months. The entire waiting room was like, 3 months? Like, I got to come in here and see him every week. He trusts you with 3 months worth of pills? And I was like, that's right, motherfuckers, because I'm using it the way it's intended to be used. Every other day. I don't drink with it.
You're like,
I don't
look, I'm
snort it up my
insured.
nose. I don't sell it. I was his best patient. All was good in the hood. I'm a responsible opioid user. I had a prescription. It was all legal. But, and this is the part where I keep wanting you to kick his ass and you just ignore this part. He gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like the hairs on the back of my neck would stand up when I was in there. And it wasn't because it was super sketch and I had to pay with cash. I did have to pay with cash.
You sure this wasn't a Chevy Cavalier on the
because
side
I
of the
had
street?
to pee in a cup, but he always wanted to examine me. And he seemed to think that the source of all of this pain came from my hip joint and my pelvis. And it was weird.
So is this a hands-on examination? Is that what we're
Yes.
saying here?
Yes.
So he was getting frisky with the fingers.
And so I quit. I just quit going. I was like, again, showing what a responsible opioid user I am. Because, I mean, other people are snorting heroin off of people's dicks. I didn't even want like a slight hip massage from a licensed medical provider.
Well, obviously
to
your
get my
pain
pills.
just wasn't that bad. I mean, if you
Maybe.
weren't willing to get a little finger blast or whatever just for some pills, then you weren't hurt.
He didn't get that personal. He just, it was just sketch. I didn't like it. So I quit, lost the prescription, but then I found out that tramadol is legal in Mexico.
It is.
Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you can legally bring it across the border.
Well, you can in certain amounts. You can bring 50 pills. You brought 300 pills across the border, though.
Don't exaggerate. 180.
Okay, sorry. I misspoke. You did not bring 300 pills of the 50 pill limit. You brought 180 pills in.
Yeah, because I take one every other day and we go to Mexico once a year. So, see, I'm responsible with them.
You are a very responsible pill popper.
I don't double up and I don't even take them every other day. I just, when pain is bad, I take a Mexican tramadol.
So give me an example of pain. Like you wake up and you kind of open your eyes and your eyes are a little stiff. You're like, ooh, I need a pill.
Well, it depends on if you're in bed with me or not. If you're in bed with me, I wake up and I go like, oh, still married to this.
Chronic pain.
Now, the only thing about Mexican tramadol is
The fentanyl.
I've found out that not all tramadol is created equally. So American tramadol prescribed by the creep, it pretty much got rid of the pain. Didn't leave me high. Didn't make me chatty. Like I could still sign legal documents and shit like that. I wasn't supposed to, but I mean, I could. Mexican tramadol, I can't sign legal documents or drive. Pain goes away, but I'm also hopped like I'm high. I've spilt my Mountain Dew earlier today. You saw that. Just fumbled the Mountain
Just
Dew.
knocking over shit.
Just knocked it right over. Ice went everywhere. I didn't even give a shit. I just laughed.
I know. We had a housekeeper here yesterday. So the fact that you spilled today and you'd like flip out like, oh my gosh, the housekeeper will be back for 2
I
weeks.
just giggled.
You're like, ha ha ha, fuck it. That'll be a problem for her.
Mexican tramadol is fucking hilarious.
No, you're high.
Kids, don't try this at home. So we've been home from our travels for a couple of weeks here. And what do we say? Like we were on the airplane and we were just pinky swearing to each other. Like when we get home, we're going to.
Well, we wanted to start dry January, but we sort of missed that. We treated dry January like a rainforest. Like it was very wet.
Oh, yeah.
When I say wet, I mean not like you weren't wet like you were turned on. You were just wet like we drank a lot of alcohol.
Right. Well, I was never under the impression that we were going to do a dry January because I am aware of our travel plans. I'm not like the travel princess like you, just in the dark. Like, yeah, I'm going to be a dry January. I'm like, that's going to be really fucking hard in Jamaica and Florida and Cancun. So I didn't have any misconceptions about what January was going to
about
look
dry
like.
January.
Yeah, but I knew like I'm going to push it back to dry February.
Yeah, we'll kick it to February.
Got to be able to support each other. Like I can't get dry if you're not going to get dry, and we got to eat better. We got to save money. How long did that last?
I mean, at least 36 hours tops.
Yeah. And that was only because we were still
I slept for most of it. A little jet lagged.
We were still on East Coast time. In the midst of all of that, our friends hit us up and said, hey, we're going for a beer at Crone Wolf Brewery. Do you want to meet us for a beer?
A little bike ride.
Yeah.
A little beer.
We actually were like, no, this isn't. For like 5 seconds, we said no.
That's not in line with our dry January, February plans.
And I had just come from the dentist, so I was still numb because I had a filling. And I was like, dude, we got an excuse. Like, we don't have to tell our friends, like, we're being big wusses about this, then we're not drinking anymore. We can just say, like, Sarah's still numb from the dentist. Today's not a good day. So I said to you, let's not do it. I can't even drink beer anyways because my face is so numb. And you said, I'll put some straws in your basket.
I mean, I'm with solutions here.
And I was like, okay. It's on like
pack
Donkey
straws
Kong.
in your bike basket so you could drink beer out of a straw.
Right. 30 minutes later, I'm this weirdo in the brewery drinking beer out of a straw. Her face still fucking numb.
Full of Novocaine.
Yeah, I can't even really talk right, but I can stick that straw down my gullet and get the beer in during dry February.
Hell of a job.
And we didn't wear jackets, even though we knew it was going to get bitterly cold, because that would force us to go home before it got dark, and we would only drink one beer.
So you probably don't remember this because we got pretty fucked up there. We came back and actually laid down a little track that night. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, God, no.
I'm going to play it for you.
I'm drunk.
Yeah.
You're drunk.
I want to get into a few things. It's going to be a very short segment.
Yeah.
Because we're too fucked up to really do a full-on show.
Okay.
So first of all, we're here.
Yeah.
Emma got us 24 tacos at the Jack in the Box drive-thru.
Yeah.
And then we were emergency evac'd from Jimbo's. We're marked safe from Jimbo's because Emma picked us up and gave us a truck ride home here. Now, you said all day long, I can ride my bike home.
I could have. No, okay. I wasn't expecting this.
I love you, girl.
I arrived here at the podcast, Mike,
Safely.
and I was ready to be annoyed by you. I was annoyed by you.
Oh, that's normal.
I was ready to be passive aggressive,
Sure.
mad at you.
Of course.
And then you brought up Emma. So I gotta shake the passive aggressiveness off for 5 fucking seconds.
Okay.
Because you're right. Emma, she's beautiful. She's wonderful. She drove us home. We got home safely.
She crushed it.
Earlier in my voice, I was like, meh. That wasn't about Emma. That was about you.
Yeah, well, I'm a piece of shit.
So thank you, Emma, for driving me home.
Great job, Emma.
Thank you for going through the Jack in the Box drive-through.
And getting us 24
and
tacos.
getting me all the tacos.
So good.
Because when I want to be pissed off at Rob, I want to be satiated with the tacos.
It's a big win for everybody.
I had 4 tacos. So when I pissed off at him, I
kind of forgot about it.
I want everyone to know it's not because I'm hungry. Because I had four fucking tacos. I had 4 fucking Jack in the Box tacos. I am full.
And they were so good.
I'm satiated.
Oh, yes.
And I'm still pissed off at Rob. Hey.
Yes.
Why am I pissed off at you?
We'll get to that in a second.
I literally don't remember.
But let's get back to Jimbo's.
Can you remind me why I hate you?
I mean, for all the reasons. I mean, I'm just a dude. Women hate their husbands because we're pieces of shit. But at Jimbo's tonight, a very special thing happened.
What happened?
So there I was, feeling good, looking good, hanging out with our good friends.
Okay.
Jamie and Paige.
I'm going to have to take your word for it.
Anthony and Carmen.
I'm so fucking pissed off at you. I can't even
You don't even know why.
That you looked good. Although you did look good earlier.
What, in your opinion, made me look good earlier?
Well, you have long hair. You're growing it out.
I have grown my hair out.
Yeah,
yes,
and I
yes,
like
yes.
it. I like it.
I'm trying to rock a whole fucking Eddie Vedder 1991 vibe.
No, you're not doing that.
I'm doing my best.
No, you haven't quite captured that. You But you look good. You're like a 51-year-old man. You kind of have like the Gavin Newsom like slick back, like curls in the back. I like it.
Most of America doesn't agree with you, but whatever your kink is, I'm not here to kink shame you.
Okay.
So let's get to the real story here.
Right.
The story of the night is this.
Right.
We originally lined up at Crow and Wolf. It's a great bar on the bike trail in Fresno. Then we go to Jimbo's, and you are crossfaded. Your eyes are crossed, and you're like, I'm going to ride home. I'm like, I don't want to see you fall over on your bike and get a fucking broken leg.
Well, you weren't going to see me. I was going to ride home by myself.
Well, that was never going to happen because I love you, and I'm not going to let you ride home by yourself.
I could have.
Someone who's young and has a driver's license with a truck is picking us up. We're not riding our bikes home because it's too cold and we're too fucked up. But we're at Jimbo's, and Anthony's trying to be a big baller. He's like, I got this. I pick up the tab. What do you want? I'm like, okay, what do I want? Let's go. What's your top shelf shit?
Yeah.
And she goes, you want our best top shelf shit? I'm like, yes, I do. What's your toppest shelf? Now, I don't think toppest is a word, but I made it up tonight. I'm like, what's your toppest shelf fucking drink? I was trying to get the lobster of drinks, the Kobe beef of beverages. Let's fucking go. What's your best top shelf shit? She's like, we got Don Julio. I'm like, well, shit, I've spent a lot of money on some fucking Don Julio in 1942. Like, I'm going to hit this kid in the pocketbook, you know?
Yeah.
She's like, okay, we have Don Julio Blanco. Okay. How much is that? She goes, well, it's $13. $13. I'm going to hit my friend in the pocketbook for $13 fucking dollars. She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, yes. Give me your toppest fucking shelf fucking Don Julio Blanco for $13 fucking dollars. And it was delicious.
Okay. Cool story, bro.
I hit my friend for every fucking dollar the Jimbo's could provide.
Yeah.
1,300 pennies.
I know. That's awesome.
Yeah. Big baller, Anthony.
Big baller.
Thank you for the Don Julio Blanco, bro.
And where I go with this I don't know.
So I would like to say that the drinks provided tonight in this podcast was $13 from Anthony for tequila.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Call the IRS. This motherfucker spent a lot of money over here.
Yeah. We're shithoused, drunk off of fucking tequila.
This is your impersonation of me?
Yeah, I just,
Okay.
like, only the best. Only the best for me. Just drinking the best fucking tequila.
Hey friends, I wanted to take the time to thank each and every one of you for listening to our stupid little drunk show, especially those who were kind enough to go on Venmo and throw a couple bucks our way to buy us a round of drinks at Stories and Cocktails. And if you want to help out the show, subscribe, like, and comment on whatever streaming platform you use, or all of them. Jesus, I sound like a 12-year-old YouTuber. And if you do buy us a round of cocktails, I promise we will put those drinks to good use and give you a shout out on a future episode. All right, thanks folks. Let's get back to the shit show. So yeah, that was a sober day for us.
Until it wasn't.
Obviously, we don't sound very sober.
When we were there having our one beer, you bought tickets to
a great show called Metalachi. This is a heavy metal mariachi band, and they're called Metalachi. They're coming to Fresno, and if you haven't seen them, go see them. It is fantastic.
So we haven't done that yet, but...
That's at a bar.
Right.
Not really part of Dry February.
Right.
Just being clear.
I didn't even know you knew how to do shit like that. You're the passenger princess. Like I do all the planning and you just show up. So I woke up the next morning and let's be honest, I woke up the next afternoon and you were like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, well, I don't know. I got a text from you. You're trying to share some tickets. Like you don't even know how to fucking get tickets that I share with you. Now you're sharing tickets with me. You purchased Metalachi tickets. So we're supposed to be dry. We end up at a brewery. And then while we're at said brewery breaking our covenants to each other to stay dry, you buy tickets to a concert for the next weekend at a bar.
Yeah, you think that's bad, but you also bought wine tour tickets for that weekend, and you rented a fucking limo bus.
I did.
It's a wine tour through Sanger, Madera, Fresno County, or whatever, and it's like 6 or 7 wineries. You can just go to it and have it pouring, like $30. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
You somehow made a $30 ticket cost $1,000 because you rented a fucking black limo bus.
Well, we don't drink and drive. It was super fun.
It was super fun, and we do not drink and drive, and so I do support the idea of using a limo bus to go around. But when we're on that trip, it wasn't like a fancy like Napa Valley or like Central Coast kind of winery tour where people have limos and shit and women have their hats on. It was just like a fucking dirt parking lot and like a bunch of broken down tractors and shit. There's like one dude with one barrel pouring like 3 glasses of wine, and the wine was actually not that great.
No.
And then we showed up with a fucking limo.
Yeah.
And everyone sort of stared at us. So it was kind of like taking a limousine to a junkyard.
It definitely was. I mean, when we were in the limo, it felt like so fancy and we were like so classy. And then we pulled up and we were just like, hey, we're so popular. We come in a limo. We're here. And then I was like looking around. I was like, oh, this is really weird. Like everyone just came in a car, bunch of fucking DUI drivers, I guess. But the DUI drivers were actually making me feel like I was the weirdo because I showed up in the fancy limo.
Well, actually, we were the most dangerous because the limo doesn't have seatbelts. So we're out there with all the DUI drivers following them from one fucking winery to the next to get hit by a fucking drunk driver.
Yeah.
And we would be killed in the fucking limo.
But thankfully, our driver, Thomas, was spot on.
He was clutch, took good care of us, didn't complain at all.
Yeah.
And we were a problem.
No.
You know, if you want to have like worst day ever, sign up to be a limo driver for a bunch of fucking assholes who want to go on a wine tour.
Well, so I told him early on. So he came and he picked us up and it was about 11 a.m. and I was pretty sober. I'd done a couple little breakfast shots, but other than the breakfast shots, I was pretty sober. And I had our whole route.
Would you explain what a breakfast shot is for the people who don't understand what that is? People who aren't fucking just total alcoholics. You just use that term like it's a normal thing. I had a couple of breakfast shots before I went on a wine tour.
Well, in this case, I mean, a breakfast shot could be anything you want it to be. But that day, I wanted it to be a little dough ball whiskey with a little salted caramel Baileys.
And did you already have Baileys in your coffee earlier than that?
No, I didn't because
Oh,
I
really?
was pacing myself.
Oh, smart.
Right. I was really trying to be responsible. I mean, it is dry February. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly. I mean, you did make a signed statement that you're not going to drink through February.
Yeah.
You've been drunk every day since.
So, well, except for today.
Well, you're on tramadol.
Well, yeah, I'm not drunk.
Okay. I like this fucking technical loophole. You're like, because I know it's going to come down to me. You're like, you know, Rob, you drink every day, and I skipped that one day when I took tramadol. I'm like, oh, well, look at you. Aren't you so fucking great?
Yeah. Well, I have pain today, you know?
Right.
So-
Is it a hangover from yesterday?
No, well, okay. I have 2 things going on at the same time. I went for my 3rd session of laser hair removal, which you don't fucking know what that kind of pain is because, you know, take a laser to your balls and tell me how you like it.
I'd rather not.
Let's be honest. We came home for a bunch of fucking doctor's appointments. You know what I mean? It's like I was at the dentist. I'm getting my laser hair removal. I just lined them all up. up. Then I went also today and I had the probe go down my throat just to
An allergist?
see how that's going. Yeah. So I got to see what the inside of my throat looks like today, like from the angle of up my nose. So that was pleasant. Well, that doesn't really mean I should take tramadol.
Well, you had a very, very traumatic day.
It was very traumatic.
You were at the allergist for like 20 minutes.
They call it tramadol because it treats trauma too. It just chills you the fuck out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going on. That's why I took the tramadol today and I didn't drink. But anyways, we were talking about the limo.
Yeah, the wine tour.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we took a quick couple of breakfast shots and I had the itinerary for all the wineries that we wanted to go to. I had it all laid out. But I said to Thomas, hey, probably at about the third winery, all my decision making is going to just go out the fucking window. So I said, you have complete autonomy to change the route and make adjustments as you see fit.
Now, were you slurring these directions to him after you had your breakfast shots? Like, Thomas, listen, bud.
No, I went quick. I took the breakfast shots and then I ran out and I met him. I was like, look, you've got about a good 45 minutes with me before I get sloppy. So here I wrote it all out. I thought it was really forward thinking for me.
Yeah, actually, for you, it was a very good plan.
This is what I have planned, but if anything changes, you can take over. And he laughed and he appreciated that. He was like, you know what? I appreciate that you are acknowledging that at some point you're going to be too fucked up to boss me around and I'm going to have to make the decisions.
And since we're such classy people, besides the breakfast shots and all the wine tasting, our friends we just had beer on the bus. So we were just drinking beer between the wineries.
The beer was a nice touch inside the...
That's how fancy we are. Breakfast shots, wine tasting with beer in the limo.
And this particular wine tour, God, I mean, we're not selling our town. I say, oh, come to our town. We have these great events. This is so fun. We actually have a wine tour. Did you know that there's a wine tour through Fresno? It's beautiful. And you go out to the vineyards and out in the country and it's so beautiful. And this one was the wine and chocolate lovers weekend. And because it's February. And so we could sell it that way. Instead, we're totally selling it as like, yeah, you went out and you sat on a tractor and you got some wine. I'm going to tell even more truth about it. You had to bring your own fucking wine glass.
Glasses will not be provided. We'll pour it in your hand if you want. We won't even have a fucking cup for you.
So you got to bring your own stupid wine glass to the wine tour. We're drinking Mick Ultras in the bus out of our wine glasses in between wineries.
Well, you want to clean the glass out.
Exactly.
The chocolate-covered pretzels were good.
They were.
Yeah, so the chocolate part was kind of fun.
Did you have a chocolate-covered cinnamon bear?
I didn't. That was a little too weird for me.
Oh, it was really good. It was wild because you thought you were like biting into like a cordial or something. It was like red. So you thought like, oh, this is like a chocolate covered cherry, like how bougie. And then you remembered like, oh shit, I'm in someone's backyard farm in Sanger. There's nothing bougie here. Old Ma winery maker, she freaking covered cinnamon gummy bears in chocolate last night. And now I'm eating it.
Yeah, these wineries were
good.
More like barns where they kind of like, probably did a Chevy 350 swap yesterday. And then today they probably killed a deer. And then yesterday they made some wine. It was very, a lot going on.
Yeah, but it was $30 for as many wineries as you could get to.
Yeah, and I added a winery and you weren't happy about that.
Well, because I had already scheduled with Thomas our exact schedule and I had told him.
You got to be flexible.
I told Thomas that he could make changes to the route. I did not say that you could.
Did you make the mistake of failing to tell Thomas, do not listen to Rob Kreider? He's not in charge?
Well, I didn't. And that's why I said to you, I said, you better go work it out with Thomas. But it all worked out.
Yeah, I took care of business.
No, Thomas did. He made sure we were back by 5:30, like I told him. I said, I don't care as long as you get me right back here.
Now, I feel like you skipped over this kind of random thing you brought up. You said you had some laser hair removal. Let's hear about that.
Oh, well, we've talked about it before.
We have.
Previous episodes. Yeah, the first session.
Oh, we did. Sound like you want to talk about it again.
Well, I just want people to know how fucking tough I am.
How tough are you?
Well, this morning when I went for my third session,
right?
She said, and I quote, "You're such an easy patient. You don't make me stop for a break. You don't cry. You're one of the fastest in and outs that I've got."
You're a tough broad.
Yeah.
Now, you have fallen to peer pressure in regards to the bush, no bush, shape of the bush, small bush, landing strip, whatever you're going to do. Like, you kind of had like a plan.
I was going to leave a little because I don't want to just look like a 9-year-old. So I was really planning on leaving some. So my first 2 sessions, I left some. To get the laser hair removal, you've got to remove your own hair first. You have to go in shaved. So she said, shave whatever you don't want. And then that's where I'll laser. Well, it's a lot of pressure deciding how you want your pubic hair to be shaped for the rest of your life. Because the whole theory is that once you get, 6 to 8 sessions of this laser, nothing will grow back. So I was just trying to shape it and shave it in this shape. And then you were no fucking help.
Me?
Yes, because you were just like, Is that what you're going with? And you said this after the fact. And I was like, well, it's what I went with on the last session. Like, that's what I had her do. You got a problem with it? And you were like, oh, no, I have no opinion. And I was like,
as a man, I don't think I could speak on it. It's your body, your choice.
you had already spoken on it when you said, that's what you're going with? And then you said, but I don't have an opinion. And I was like,
I don't have an opinion.
It sure sounds like you have an opinion. And you said, well, it's just, I didn't know if you wanted this like little like square blobby thing. And I was like, again, I thought you weren't supposed to have an opinion. So then I just got more and more self-conscious about it.
Well, because the way you had it shaped, it looked like you made your bush out of Minecraft. It was very strange.
There's a lot of pressure, like I said, to say, how do I want my bush to be shaped for the rest of my fucking life? And then you made it like even weirder and more cringy because you're like, well, do you want me to get in there and kind of help you? And, maybe like turn it into a triangle or, more of a landing strip. And I was just like, I don't know what the fuck you're seeing on the internet. I only know what mine looks like. Anytime you come in here and tell me you want to have it shaped, I'm just like, how many fucking bushes are you seeing? Because I've only seen mine. So I don't need to suffer from comparison. There's just way too much pressure. You were pissing me off.
Yeah, I was, in my opinion.
With your opinion.
You got the wrong idea because I grew up on 70s like VHS porn. It was all bush.
Well, that's what I thought.
So I like bush. But you should get rid of yours. But I still like it. I don't have an opinion on it.
There's that fucking opinion.
But it's cool if you don't have it.
So I was cleaning it up for the appointment. And then it's also like plucking your eyebrows. You pluck one and then you're like, oh, well, shit, there's another, I got to pluck that one. And then you go to the other side and you're like, well, I got to even them up and you got to pluck that.
Where do we stop here?
And then pretty soon you have like no eyebrows. That's what was happening is I was like, okay, I got to trim this side a little bit more. Oh, I got to trim this side a little bit more. Oh, and okay. Also, I'm fucking fat. So the entire time I'm doing this, I'm trying to like push my menopause gut like out of the way so I can even just see my own bush. Like that's hard to do.
The technical term for that is a gunt.
See, again, with the fucking opinions. No, you're supposed to just be like, what?
Well, the difference would be a hairy gunt or a shaved gunt in this case.
But do you know your only opinion is, honey, you don't have a gunt.
Oh, honey, you don't.
When I say like, I can't.
Of course you don't.
See my own bush, I got to like push my gut out of the way to see it. You're supposed to look surprised.
Like, what are you talking about?
What exactly?
Not you.
So anyways, pushing your gut and sucking your gut out of the way so you can like bend your neck and like see your own. I'm getting out of breath doing it. And so then finally I was like, fuck it. I'm just shaving it all. It's just all going. And she had told me from the get-go when I said like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave a little bit. She kind of was like, yeah, sure you are. Sure you are. So I walked in.
Well, I slipped her $100 to say that. Did you know that?
No.
I met with her earlier. I'm like, listen.
You don't even know her name.
I'm like, listen, Christy, just fucking, here's a hundy and let's get rid of all that bush. All right.
Nice try. Her name is Kristen.
Well, I call her Christy.
So I walked in and I said, you were right. And that's all I said to her. I said, you were right. Now, normally when you tell a person you were right, they say, about what? She just laughed and she goes, you're getting rid of all of it, aren't you? And I was like, yes, this time, like, just take it all. She kind of laughed about that. Then I tattled on you and I said that you had an opinion when you shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm. What'd she say about that?
She said, he shouldn't have any opinion at all. So after we were all done and she told me I'm like the toughest chick.
Did you say, have I earned a Mexican tramadol?
Well, no.
You're so fucking tough.
She's an RN. She might turn me in. So then I got dressed and I was wearing your basketball shorts.
I don't play basketball.
Well, I know, but they were like basketball style shorts, like just baggy down to the knees. And they're kind of like your lounging around shorts.
They're like my weed smoking shorts.
They've got like stains on them.
That's like I'm going to smoke weed, eat ice cream, and binge watch like Ozark.
Yeah, they're yours. So they're men's shorts. They don't fit me well. I put this hoodie on that's equally as distasteful. She kind of looked at me and I looked at her and I said, yeah, this is me passively aggressively telling my husband like, okay, I got rid of all of the hair, but fuck you. I'm going to dress like a bag of trash.
You won't thwart me, baby. I know what's beneath those fucking basketball shorts. A shaved bush.
No, a shaved gunt, according to you.
No, I didn't say that.
You did.
I'm just giving you the technical term, anatomical term. You want to be accurate when you talk about your body.
I got to tell you, though, like I've heard men say they want to keep their beards because it hides their double chin, right?
Sure.
I didn't even really know that I had a gunt until I shaved it all. And then I was just like, Jesus Christ, my pelvis is fat. This is like a part of my body that I didn't feel self-conscious about being fat. You started to make me feel self-conscious about how hairy it was, but that's something that you did to me and I resent you for that. But
that's healthy.
Didn't, like I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I've got like some fat under the arms. I've got a double chin. Oh, I've got this belly. Or I never looked in the mirror before and said, I don't even know what you call that part of your body.
The fupa.
And now I've got a second word for it. I never looked and thought like this shit's fat. And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, damn, I need to grow the hair back to hide it. Is there any other words for it that you want to just give me?
Sasquatch.
Oh my God. You know what?
I'm not really supposed to speak about this part of your body. I'm supposed to act surprised, like, ooh, thank you. Let me touch it.
Look, you know that for women, we really get into our heads about sex, right? For me to start to feel sexy and get turned on and want to go to bed with you, I've got to be out of my head.
I call it all the planets have to align.
Exactly. We cannot add new things for me to get in my head about. 10 seconds ago, I wasn't in my head about a fupa. Now I fucking am. Fuck off, dude. This is not verbal foreplay.
I'm going to work on my flirtation skills.
Yeah.
Speaking of verbal foreplay, while we were in Key West, you got angry at me.
Yeah.
I had a little situation down there.
Yeah.
That you were not very happy with.
One of the places that we just came home from was Key West. Part of our January adventures.
Dry January in Key West.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Well, it wasn't, again, no one was planning on January being dry except for you. I was like, yeah, we're just going to fly on over to Miami real quick and then fly over to Jamaica and then fly back to Miami for a few days in Key West and then fly to Cancun. What could go wrong with that? Of course we'll be dry through all of that.
God damn. Really need to look at this travel itinerary before I start making plans.
Like dry Januaries.
Yep.
In between Jamaica and Cancun, we just did a quick little trip down into the Keys.
Beautiful Key West. Went to Hemingway's house, Duval Street. Awesome, good time. We highly recommend it. So awesome. We love Key West. But what happened is you and I are walking across the street, crosswalk.
Just to be clear, we had just left our hotel. This crosswalk was right in front of our hotel. So we had just started our day.
Yes.
We were on like minute 9 of our adventures in Key West.
And this is a Crider morning, which means it's about 12:30.
Yeah.
Because we don't really do morning.
Yeah.
So it's like lunchtime. We're getting out of the hotel finally. And then we're walking across a crosswalk and this dude's coming at us in a bicycle. And hey, listen, we ride our bikes all over town. We get drunk. And it looks like he's having a little trouble. And so I try to give him some grace. And I'm like, oh, let's give this guy a little room. You know, he'll just get by us and we'll walk across the crosswalk. No problem. Well, then I realized like he's actually kind of riding at me and then he kind of blocks our path. And then he's like, hey, can you help a bum out with a couple bucks? I didn't like that because I thought like, oh, shoot. You know what I mean? Like, this is weird. This is awkward and he's kind of blocking us.
Well, I didn't like it because I was like, I don't have any cash, dude.
Yeah, who has cash?
Who has cash in this society?
I mean, if you're smart, if you're a bum, you just tattoo a QR code on your arm.
Yeah.
You're like, just Venmo me this. Cash at me.
We'd just come back from Jamaica where we did have cash because we were tipping everybody out in Jamaica, but I was done. I left all my cash in Jamaica, dude.
Yeah, I'm on.
And you know what? Those guys, they brought me drinks and food. You know, you got to earn your dollars. You
Exactly.
can't just block the crosswalk
Right.
and ask me for a few bucks.
So I wasn't having it. And so I said, it's not going to fucking happen, dude. I was just putting it down like, we're not to be fucked with. Leave us alone. I'm walking with my wife here. Piss off. And you didn't like that because generally I don't really look for conflict. I'm pretty much an easygoing guy. I just want to just have a good time in Key West and fucking party.
You also told me 100 years ago.
Never engage.
You told me, do not engage. You said the unhoused, they're also unhinged. There's a reason why
They're off their meds.
a lot of them are on the streets. They're crazy. They're unpredictable. Don't escalate.
Don't escalate.
That's what you told me. Don't engage. Don't talk to them. Certainly don't tell them, fuck off, dude. I was already anxious and my anxiety went from like a 6 to like a fucking 13 on a scale of 10. And then the guy says to you,
I'm not a dude. I'm a man. And I should have just walked off. But instead I said, really? Because if you were a man, you wouldn't be asking me for fucking money.
oh yeah.
So now things are getting nuclear, right? We walk off. You're just falling apart. Like, oh my God, he's going to follow us. He's going to chase us around. I'm like, baby, fucking don't worry about it.
And I was telling you, we're on foot. He's on a ratty tatty old bicycle.
Stolen bicycle
and
for sure.
that fucking ratty, rusty bicycle can still go faster than us on foot. So I was a nervous wreck.
And I tell you, baby, we'll never see this guy again for the rest of our lives. He can go fuck off and die in a ditch somewhere. Who cares? It's no problem. Baby, don't sweat it. Yes, escalated a bit. You know, I shouldn't have, but fuck it. We'll never see him again. But what I forgot was that we were on this little thing called an island.
Yeah.
Key West, specifically. Island of Bones. While we're on that island, there's not a lot of places you can go. And it turns out I ran into that guy 3 more times that fucking day.
Yes.
All fucking day long.
Every single time.
I ran into that guy.
I turned around. He was there. And you fucking asshole. You're trying to gaslight me and tell me that it's not him. So we are walking down the street and there's that ratty tatty fucking bicycle. And I hear this guy. The funny thing is that he's talking to one of his homeless bros. They're blocking the sidewalk. Just
smoking weed, drinking
Yeah.
fucking tall cans of fucking Coors Light in the street.
I mean, they're basically behaving exactly like we behave, but we somehow think that we're better than them because we have an address.
Well, because I washed my hair.
Sometimes. So I hear him say to his buddy, he's talking about how he got like ticketed or arrested or something. And he's like, to be clear, I was blocking the sidewalk. I'll just admit that right now.
I don't even know why they fucking arrested me for impeding. He's like, but I was blocking the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is this guy's MO.
Do you know what impeding means? It means blocking the fucking sidewalk. But then I'm looking and I'm like, there's the bike. That's his MO. I'm like, that's the fucking guy. So I say to you, shit, we need to turn the corner. Like, that's the fucking guy. And he already hates you and he's going to stab us. And you taught me.
Don't engage with the homeless.
Don't engage. They're unpredictable. I'm like, I'm predicting right now, he's going to fucking stab us. And you're like, oh no, baby, that's not him.
Well, I couldn't admit that it was him because every time we saw him, it just meant I was wrong again. So I just kept gaslighting him like, that's not him. That's a different homeless guy with the same colored
What
bike.
are the chances in the entire state of Florida? Honey, do you know how big Florida is that we're going to run into the same homeless guy? I'm like, we're in fucking Key West. We're on an island. We just saw him 45 minutes ago. It's the same fucking guy. We didn't go through the whole state of Florida. We went 4 blocks and there he is.
And later, we're just like at a Walgreens. I just want to get some fucking Tums or some shit because we overate. And then he's in front of us in line.
Yeah.
And he's trying to fucking buy one smoke at a time and fucking more beer. And he's holding up the whole fucking line. I'm just like, God damn this fucking guy. I can't get away from this son of a bitch.
No,
and then every time he's around, you're mad at me again.
We're waiting. We're hiding. We're like hiding in aisle 4 because we don't want to see him. He's at the register. We're waiting. He's counting out the cigarettes and like a tall can of Bud Light. He's counting it out with change and he's taking forever. And I'm looking at you and I'm like, you know what? If you would have just given him a couple of bucks, some dollar bills, he would have paid for this and he'd be gone already by now.
All this is my fault.
But
everything
now,
in this guy's life is my fault.
We're fucking waiting around because we can't go up to the register and have him see us because
fuck off, dude.
you called him a dude and he's a man. And then you told him he's not a fucking man. It was just a fucking shit show.
It was. And basically, I think you enjoyed it because one, you got to be right all day long. And
I did.
I got to be wrong.
I did enjoy
That was your favorite part.
Yeah.
Your favorite part was all day long. You're like, see, I fucking told you.
Yeah.
The funny part was, as paranoid as we were about seeing him, we were on high alert. We saw him everywhere. He never noticed us again.
No.
We were around him all day. People tell him to fuck off all day long.
Yeah.
We were not anybody like novel to him. Because we're like, oh my God, you told that guy to fuck off at 12:30. And now it's 9:30 at night. We're in a Walgreens with him. He's going to fucking pick a fight. He did not give a shit about us.
It's definitely a numbers game. He was the only person that we told to fuck off. And by we, that you told to fuck off that day. And you're right. We were one of probably 100 tourists that told him to fuck off that day.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He didn't remember us.
Don't call him a dude. He's no dude.
So that was our adventures in Key West.
That was Key West. Yeah. Key West was nice.
Just looking over my shoulder all
You
fucking
were
day
paranoid,
long. Thank
yeah.
you very much.
You were looking over his shoulder and I was wrong. And that motherfucker just was blocking every sidewalk in that city. Very big announce on the show today. You have been promoted to an incredibly high level of something I didn't even know was a thing. And I'm very, very proud of you.
Yes.
So you are a
Yelp Elite member.
Yelp Elite member.
It's invite only.
Is that like the president of the Karens?
No.
No?
I can't even respond to that. So it's like so mean. This is like the first thing I've accomplished since I quit working. Like, we got nothing, right?
Is quitting working an accomplishment?
No, but like when I worked, I had things like, oh, I went to work today. I taught somebody how to long divide. Like I had like little tiny achievements. I was a contributing member of society. We haven't fucking done jack shit. We can't even give a bum $1 in Key West. Like we do nothing. We bring nothing to the table. We have no value. So I have to collect or accumulate these little tiny baby wings.
We have the show. The show is our contribution to society. Fuck Yelp Elite.
I got asked to be a Yelp Elite member. You have to be invited and you just shit all over it. You're like, oh, you're the president of the Karens? And first of all, I'm like, well, I'm not even the president. I'm just a member. I got invited by the president. So you're already like shitting on it.
You could work your way up.
And then calling me a Karen.
So what this means is that you have used Yelp so fucking much. You got the attention of Yelp. They're like, hey, be a part of this little club.
Yes.
You're special now.
Because I write good reviews.
And then does this mean now we're going to get like a $5 off wings at Buffalo Wild Wings and shit?
Okay, well, this is the part that fucking sucks. Is that I only wanted to become a Yelp Elite member because I thought there were like perks that came along with it, right? Like I'm like, okay, if I'm a Yelp Elite member, then like we're going to just write our own ticket,
Never
like
buy a drink again.
Exactly. Like, oh, I'm a Yelp Elite member. Like maybe you want to just comp this cheeseburger and I'll give you a good review. Like wink, wink, hint, hint. achievement, right? So that's what I was working towards. Was free
Nice.
shit.
I like free shit.
I chase reward points because I want to cash them in for free shit.
Right.
So I really thought that was the racket. Well, when I got my official invite paperwork to be a Yelp Elite member, it comes with rules, and the fucking rules are you can't accept anything for fucking free. That all of your reviews have to be genuine and of your own interest, and you can't accept anything for free.
I mean, did you sign some sort of like ethics committee paperwork?
Well, no, but I'm an ethical person.
True.
So
You don't fuck around.
no. I mean, the only unethical thing I do is technically I brought more than 50 tramadol pills across the border,
And you take them every other day without a prescription.
but I don't sell them.
Not yet.
Dude, I don't even fucking share them with you.
I know. I've never had one.
You're like, I don't know, my back hurts. I'm like, I'll take some fucking aspirin. It's over there.
No tramadol for you, bitch.
You're like, I broke my ankle and they're so tight now with these prescriptions. I'm like, I know they are.
It's too bad we don't have something around the house. Yeah, it's too fucking bad because we don't.
Here's 2 Tylenol, 2 Advil. You can take them at the same time.
Suck it up, buttercup.
That's the only unethical thing that I do. Otherwise, I'm pretty straightforward. And so, yeah, I was like working my way up, leaving these great, thoughtful reviews.
Yeah, Yelp
With
Elite.
pictures so that I could become Yelp Elite and get free shit. And now I can't even get free shit.
So it's kind of all for naught.
Right. And now I have like a higher profile Yelp.
Oh, so like the government's watching you now.
At least the Yelp police.
Yeah, Yelp Police.
And so now
I've seen Yelp Police take a lot of big hitters down.
Now I really can't get free shit because I'm being watched.
I heard they got the Juarez cartel, Yelp Police. That's how they got taken down.
You're just jealous.
Just I don't give a fuck about Yelp.
Dude.
I don't know why you want to sit on your phone and just type out like, this steak was not quite medium, even though I ordered it medium. They made it medium rare.
I'll tell you why. Because when I log on to Yelp, I get notifications that sound like this. Great job. 72 users have found your review helpful. 72 users have seen your picture and have taken your review into account. I'm like reaching a lot of people through this.
Wow, damn.
72.
That's probably more listeners we have on the show.
I know. So just imagine strangers I've never even met before. They're just
Helping tens of people.
They're like, I could go for a burger. Like, let's see if this place is any good. And then they read what I write to decide where they're going to have dinner. That's
Holy
fucking
shit,
impactful.
man. I'm surprised the New York Times is not using you as like a food critic.
Well, they can't compete with Yelp. I mean, I don't need to be on New York Times. You can just catch my reviews on Yelp.
And how much money do you make doing this, Mrs. Kreider?
None. That's what fucking sucks. I really thought that I was going to get some free shit, and now nothing. But I felt really good about this until fucking 5 minutes ago. You know, I felt good about my pubic hair until I talked to you about it. I felt good about my Yelp reviews until I talked to you about it.
So maybe this chronic pain is me. I'm the chronic pain in your ass. Your husband.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, you are.
Since it's coming up, it's February. We did the wine and chocolate tour with the wine tasting. And February has this one particular holiday in it. Boys, remember, February 14th is Valentine's Day.
Oh, are you going to like make it all up to me?
No. I wrote an article about how I didn't do it right. Well, back in the day. Article's called Can't Buy Me Love in the Santa Maria Sun, published February 9th, 2001.
Way back.
It's a very, very early Man Overboard story. This is back when a lot of my stories had Beatles songs titles.
Oh.
Like Strawberry Fields Forever, Can't Buy Me Love, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I like the fucking Beatles, man.
My favorite line in that article, the funniest fucking line. I mean, we've been married 4 years.
We've been married 4 years. What does she expect from me?
Haven't I figured this shit out? 4 whole fucking years.
Yeah, where am I going?
Yeah.
I don't need to buy her fucking cards and shit.
So since then, you've had another 24 Valentines.
Have I gotten one right? Valentine's not my strongest holiday.
No.
Or your birthday or Christmas. I'm pretty good at Halloween. No. So look, I'm sorry, as your husband, I've always been sort of bad at Valentine's Day. I had a lot of trauma as a kid. Always forgot to tell my parents, like, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and you had to go around town and find, like, the different Valentines and make one little envelope with little heart candy for every girl, and you hand them out during class, and you hope you get some back, and it was like nothing good came from it.
Basically, it sounds like you missed out on some of the Valentine's Day fun in elementary school.
Yeah, it didn't work out like I thought I was going to.
But then you also said because you forgot to tell your parents it was Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Honey, Valentine's Day is February 14th every fucking year. You're 7 years old. You're not supposed to tell your parents. They're supposed to tell you.
Well, they were yelling at me the whole time we were driving across town trying to find like the last fucking packet of Valentine's cards.
But that's not your fault. You're 7 years old.
Well, this is what my childhood was like.
Yeah.
That's why I like to be on time for things.
I guess so. I mean, boy, 28 years of marriage and I'm still learning new ways that your parents fucked you up. So I loved those days, those Valentine's days when you had to, write every kid. I had really good handwriting. So I was happy to write every kid's name on a little.
Well, I didn't have good
envelope and
handwriting.
kinda
That's why when I handed a girl an envelope,
show
it
'em
looked
off.
like I was written by a dyslexic.
You wrote on the I made the nicest schedule for Thomas, the limo driver, and it was in my super nice handwriting, and all the addresses were there with like times and stuff.
All the addresses?
Well, that was the thing. I didn't know one address, and I was going to fill it in. I left the line blank so that I could fill it in. I get in the shower. I turn my back for 5 fucking seconds, and you're like, oh, I'll go ahead and solve this problem. You get the address. Not only did you put it in your shitty ass handwriting, but you wrote it in a different color ink as well. So that pissed me off.
Thomas read it. Actually, he got the names transposed and went to the wrong house.
Everything was written in like the same color ink, and it looked so nice. And then you hand them, and I was embarrassed to give it
This
to
is
him.
all, Valentine's Day trauma from my childhood. I don't know how to do this yet.
I guess not.
Boys didn't have colored pens, and we didn't take penmanship classes. All we were trying to do is just, get a girl to kiss us. And I didn't get anybody to kiss me on Valentine's Day.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So on Valentine's Day, I'm like, fuck my wife. I'm not buying her a card.
It's always transactional with you.
It's true.
I was like, I love Valentine's. This is like so nice, and everybody just gives each other
I thought
cards.
these Valentine's Day cards were a currency for sex.
Oh exactly. That's what you always think. Now, speaking of Valentine's Day and currency for sex, I went to a bar on March 14th. And I remember it was March 14th because I left work and I was wearing my little pie pen because March 14th, 3/14.
3.14.
So I had my little pie pin and I forgot, and like a nerd, I wore it to the bar.
Let me get this straight. You went to a bar and you wore a pin on your shirt for pie.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I
Just making
forgot that it was on.
sure. That is some nerdy shit.
So I had it on. But you think, oh, this is some nerdy shit. The thing is that everyone thought that it was like some kind of like sorority, like Greek letter. Apparently, like idiots, they don't know what the symbol for pi is, and they don't know that March 14th is Pi Day 3.14. So instead of clocking me as a nerdy math teacher, they're like, oh, what sorority were you in?
To be clear, this pie pin did not say 3.14. It just had the symbol for
Symbol,
pie.
the Greek letter pi.
So like, oh, you guys, you're part of the hair pie. So you're part of the hair pie. So you're part of the hair pie sorority. You're part of the hair pie sorority.
That is your mouth giving you 4 chances to not say that. If you can't get it out, that's just like you're not supposed to say that.
I'll accept that criticism.
So, anyways, it was a nerdy thing to do, but I ended up getting a lot of attention, and I like attention.
Sure.
Right. Well, so one guy, he strikes up a conversation with me, and he's like, or are you in a sorority? And I was like, no, this is fucking the symbol for pi, the Greek letter pi. It's Pi Day, 3.14, 3/14. It's Pi Day. Now, this fucker, I will never forgive him. He says, oh, this isn't Pi Day. And I'm like, yes, it is, asshole. It's March 14th, 3/14. Like, I'm like trying to spell it out to him. I'm starting to tell him what pi is. I'm like, pi is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. It's roughly 3 times larger. Like, I'm like really starting to like math geek out. And I'm getting angrier and angrier at him because he won't admit that it's Pi Day. And then he says, no, it's steak and blowjob day.
Oh, steak and blowjob day.
Yes.
I forgot about steak and blowjob day.
Well, you know why you forgot? Because you fuck up Valentine's Day every year and you never get steak and blowjob day. You
Damn
just
it.
get Pi Day.
I gotta get better at Valentine's Day so I can get steak and blowjob day.
Do you remember what his reasoning was?
1 month after Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It's for the boys.
So he told me, he said, if your guy does Valentine's Day right, exactly 1 month later, you pay him back with steak and blowjob day.
God bless him.
Now, why I told you this story, I'll never know. But it turns out it doesn't matter because you've never gotten Valentine's Day right,
I never do.
which is why you never get steak and blowjob
Like
day.
never even once. Like I remember some like early times in our marriage, I'd be coming up from work. I'm like, oh, fuck. Somebody in the office who actually loved his wife
Yeah.
would say like, hey guys, hey bros, like remember Valentine's Day? I'm like, oh man, just like in grade school, fuck, I forgot again.
Yeah.
So I would like swing by Target and I would just like grab like a random fucking like Reese's like peanut butter and chocolate heart, which you don't even like that fucking kind of candy. I'd pick up an overly priced card. I'd write shitty handwriting like, I love you, I'll be back tonight. I come home like, here you go, honey. Maybe a fucking overpriced, shitty fucking rose at the store.
Yeah.
And, I'd spend like $35 we didn't have at the time.
Right.
And give you 3 things you don't fucking want.
Yeah.
And I'm like, happy Valentine's Day. And wink, wink, nod, nod. I'll see you on Pi Day for steak and blowjobs.
No.
No.
It just doesn't work like that. It's funny that you bring up the chocolate peanut butter cups because that's what you like. So, of course, you would buy me what you like.
Well, as we wrap this up, I want to publicly say, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so bad at Valentine's Day. I do love you very much. It's just a strange holiday for me for whatever reason I can't seem to get right. I share my love with you every day of the year. Doesn't have to be Valentine's Day.
Oh, isn't that a nice, stupid excuse? Hey, do you think you can give me like a coupon book? Just coupons telling me you'll do all the stuff that you probably should do anyway?
Yeah. All right. Well, on that, let's raise the glass. And I guess you can just raise up one more tramadol pill and just tap my glass.
I still got some Diet Mountain Dew here.
There's no alcohol in that. How dare you?
How dare I?
Fucking the show up.
I know.
Goddamn drug addict. All right. Raise the glass to Valentine's Day again. Another year for me to fuck it up.
2025, let's see what you can put together.
The last minute. Cheers.
And that was Last Call. You did it. You survived an episode of Stories and Cocktails. But did Rob or Sarah's liver survive the show? I don't know. Tune into the next episode to find out, to enjoy some more stories and some more cocktails. By the way, if you want to support the debauchery of the show, then buy the hosts their next round by Venmoing a couple of gold doubloons at Stories and Cocktails. Back in the day, a gold doubloon was only $4 Spanish. Who knew? Well, folks, I'll be right here behind the bar, cleaning the glassware and awaiting your return to the Stories and Cocktails podcast. Cheerio, friends.
If you enjoy hearing Rob Kreider's different humor columns here on the Stories and Cocktails podcast, then I promise you will love his novel, Cadet Blues. Cadet Blues is Rob's hilarious tell-all about desperately trying to survive the shock and awe boot camp-style training at the California Highway Patrol Academy. People from all different walks of life have come to love this book because Cadet Blues is simply a crazy good read. Heartfelt, inspiring, and damn funny. It's available in paperback through Amazon, eBay, or cadetblues.com, where you can get free shipping and a personalized autographed book. Or you can download a digital copy of Cadet Blues from Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble Nook, or Apple iBooks. Do yourself a favor and check out the novel, Cadet Blues.